Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Tuesday, April 6th, at 3:25 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 672 headlines from 108 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Russian arrested for filming naked women on Dubai balcony. Indian states vote amid latest surge in coronavirus cases. Nigeria's Efe Queen wants to take royal meetings online. Man dies after policemen force him to do 300 squats for breaking COVID curfew. Facebook leak, Irish regulator probes old data dump. Mitch McConnell now wants companies to stay out of politics. Drones that swarmed U.S. warships are still unidentified, Navy chief says. 6 killed in Texas murder-suicide carried out by brothers, police say. Mother, daughter die after their car plunges off California cliff. No room for hate, California man faces multiple charges for allegedly throwing rocks at Asian American woman, 6-year-old son. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. COVID-19 live updates, U.S. appoints new global coronavirus coordinator as Biden steps up efforts to combat pandemic, The Washington Post. Putin signs law allowing him to run for 2 more terms as Russian president, CNN. Trump and his allies abandon Gates, Politico. Myanmar's military is waging war on its citizens. Some say it's time to fight back, CNN. Piers Morgan claims he was under attack from Meghan Markle during interview with Tucker Carlson, Yahoo Entertainment. New Zealand to open quarantine-free travel bubble with Australia, Axios. Baylor defeats Gonzaga to win its first men's NCAA basketball championship, NPR. Credit Suisse takes $4.7 billion hit from Archegos hedge fund scandal, execs step down, CNBC. Google Pixel 5 sees massive GPU performance gains with April 2021 update, XDA developers. Watch, one shining moment on CBS after Baylor wins the NCAA tournament title to cap a great March Madness, CBS Sports. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Infectious disease expert explains why next COVID-19 wave in U.S. is inevitable. Still afraid of COVID-19 after getting the vaccine? You're not alone. 30 hilarious tweets about makeup in the age of COVID-19. 5 foods that'll boost your energy, and 5 surprising ones that drain it. I am not a criminal, embattled Rep. Matt Gaetz refuses to resign in defiant op-ed. Poll, half of Republicans think Capitol rioters were largely peaceful or left-wing agitators. Twitter users bust Trump for hypocrisy over Coca-Cola boycott photo. Jimmy Kimmel takes down the Joker king of cancel culture, Donald Trump. Stephen Colbert spots the major flaw with Trump's boycott call. MLB All-Star Game reportedly moved to Denver. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Inmate on death row dies in prison. Man arrested after refusing temperature check. Children's seatbelt bill hits another roadblock. Police chase with stolen ambulance. Restaurant gets racist prank calls, fake orders. Donor adds $100K to reward fund in death of girls. Sheriff, laced Easter card sent to inmate. Car doing donuts on I-495 seized. AG, deadly force justified in 2018 shooting. Accused shooter asks judge to recuse herself. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. the joy and envy of vaccine FOMO. Australia's Me Too moment has started in Parliament. North Korea, citing pandemic, will skip Tokyo Summer Olympics. He led Hitler's secret police in Austria, then he spied for the West. Business updates, Air France to get a $4.7 billion bailout. Boris Johnson announces free COVID tests and status certificates for England. China's anger at foreign brands helps local rivals. Netanyahu gets first crack at forming new government in Israel. Garment workers who lost jobs in pandemic still wait for severance pay. Imagining the timeless childhood of Beverly Cleary's Portland. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Doug Collins, MLB owes Georgians an apology. Republican group spotlights state rules that make it easier to vote and harder to cheat. MLB shifts All-Star Game to Denver after Georgia voting law change. Woke MLB moving All-Star Game from 51% black Atlanta to 76% white Denver, critics note. Harm at Hill, California threatens cops' rights, here's how bill silences police, attacks First Amendment. Georgia voting law changes are okay with Americans, 42% to 36%, poll. Woman shares how she saved enough during pandemic to buy a house, I'm in shock. All-Star Rumble, with Biden and Trump, shows corporate America breaking with GOP. Biden WH tension to blame for major getting agitated, dog expert says. Flashback, voter ID issues prompted Colorado to disqualify more than 21,000 ballots in 2016. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Tuesday, April 6th. The next headlines are from the seventh most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Baylor rides defense, three-point shooting to program's first ever national championship 86-70 over Gonzaga. Stimulus check update, will there be a fourth relief payment? Record travel on Easter weekend follows updated CDC guidelines. Full list, Luke Combs, Maren Morris, Kane Brown among 2021 ACM performers. NFL Draft 2021, Texas Taquin Graham looks to show his versatility, ability to play multiple positions at next level. Rocky Carroll on CIS, having a prior relationship with Mark Harmon was a huge help. NFL Draft prospect Josh Ball points to pass sets and quickness as strengths in preparation for next level. Dr. Osterholm, loosening COVID restrictions and UK variant are going to collide. The next headlines are from the eighth most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Police hunting missing student Richard Okoro I, 19, find body in Epping Force. Boris confirms shops can reopen on Monday, but is lockdown roadmap in doubt? Kate Middleton is the silent power behind Prince William, royal expert claims. Piers Morgan highlights Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's 17 untruths and exaggerations. Piers Morgan says he was right not to believe Meghan and Harry in interview with Tucker Carlson. National Trust slammed for asking children to write poems lamenting British Empire. Actor Paul Ritter dead at 55, Harry Potter, James Bond and Friday Night Dinner star dies of brain. Gone in one big gulp, moment a hungry heron bolts down a 20-year-old petfish. Locals vow to defy ridiculous Novichok litter picking ban. Boris Johnson's vaccine passports plan in jeopardy. The following headlines are from the ninth most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. In both Jordan and Israel, there's talk of a coup. With reluctance, Israel's president tasks Netanyahu with forming a new government. Tokyo Olympic organizers postpone water polo test event. COVID-19 live updates. U.S. appoints new global coronavirus coordinator as Biden steps up efforts to combat pandemic. Israeli president picks Netanyahu to try and form government. Israeli President Reuven Rivlin picks Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to try to form a new government. U.S. and Iran set to begin indirect talks on reviving the nuclear deal in Vienna. Russian FM headed to Pakistan, Afghan talks likely on agenda. Europe's vaccine divide, as scientists scramble for answers to AstraZeneca blood clot puzzle, some nations opt for caution. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Coronavirus live news. Japan concerned over nascent fourth wave. North Korea withdraws from Tokyo Olympics. Biden's infrastructure plan should cover childcare and home care. Here's why. Jamal Bauman. Alexei Navalny seriously ill on prison sick ward, says lawyer. Water spirit is no monster, he's sacred and ours, Indigenous Canadians say. Jordan bans coverage of alleged plot involving Prince Hamza. T.I. and Tiny deny sexual assault allegations from 3 further women. New York prayer vigil for rapper DMX, in pictures. Trinity Rodman, my mom wasn't in the NBA but she's my role model. Traditional owners devastated by alleged damage to 1,500-year-old stone arrangement in Victoria. I'd like to lock myself in a room, an unflinching portrait of motherhood, in pictures. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Permanent resident who hoped Biden would be his miracle is set to be deported. Blinken taps COVID coordinator as U.S. prepares to pivot to sharing vaccines overseas. U.S., Iran hold first indirect talks in bid to save nuclear deal. COVID-19 vaccine eligibility expands to 16 and over in NY. Second breach concern in Florida wastewater reservoir, officials say. North Korea says it won't participate in Tokyo Olympics. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Israel's Netanyahu tasked with forming new government. Credit Suisse axes bosses after huge losses. Jordan's Prince Hamza pledges allegiance to king after mediation. Navalny, jailed Putin critic has cough and temperature. Iran nuclear deal, U.S. joins Vienna talks aimed at reviving accord. Hunter Biden on addiction, my life is not a tabloid. COVID-19 vaccination, India ramps up vaccines as daily cases hit 100,000. Tokyo Olympics, North Korea to skip games over COVID-19 fears. Australia and New Zealand to start quarantine-free travel. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. AP top stories April 6th. New York, Maryland open vaccines for anyone over 16 as variants continue to spread. Latest COVID-19 updates. Baylor fans celebrate team's first NCAA championship. Couple host virtual concerts to fund food pantry. Today in history for April 6th. Florida crews are pumping wastewater into Tampa Bay to avoid a full reservoir breach, what we know. Derek Chauvin trial live, police chief testifies that restraint of George Floyd absolutely violated policy, ethics of department. AP NORC poll, border woes dent Biden approval. ARC governor vetoes transgender youth treatment ban. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. More than 2 million Californians may be leaving stimulus money on the table. Here's how to get it. Driver in custody after nearly 4-hour standoff with Beverly Hills police. Firefighters battle brush fire in Angeles National Forest. Orange County man charged with hate crime for throwing rocks at Asian mother's car. While investigating a son for threatening his parents, OC deputies find gun arsenal. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrest Yemeni men on FBI terrorism watch list. It's absolutely terrifying. OC residents receive onslaught of KKK propaganda. Long Beach Convention Center tapped to hold 1,000 migrant children. California nears COVID-19 vaccine target equities more reopening rules. LA County reopening, want to know about bars, indoor concerts, theaters and more. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Tuesday, April 6th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. American hunger strikers demand U.S. stop supporting brutal Saudi siege of Yemen. India surpasses Brazil and U.S., becomes the country with highest daily COVID-19 cases in the world. Trans-Tasman travel bubble to begin April 18th, New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern announces. New Zealand starts quarantine-free travel with Australia from April 19th. Warming waters have driven thousands of ocean species poleward from the equator, threatening marine ecosystems and the livelihoods of people who depend on them. Saudi Arabia to allow only immunized pilgrims to Mecca. National parks should be created in waters around UK coast to help conserve fragile marine habitats and give people access to more of Britain's natural heritage, Marine Conservation Group said. Identify 10 areas around coast it said could be designated national parks within next 10 years. Students have been scared and hesitant to report sexual assaults that happened outside of coronavirus regulations. They have called on universities to actively reassure and inform students that they would not be disciplined for any breaches that come to light when reporting assaults. North Korea says it won't join Tokyo Olympics due to COVID-19 concerns, Yonhap. 2 bodies in Serbia's mass grave confirmed as Kosovo war victims. Satirist jailed for tweets cursing life under the ruling Chinese Communist Party. Humans are causing climate change, it's just been proven directly for the first time. Pfizer halts corona vaccine shipments to Israel after failure to pay. Alexei Navalny, jailed Putin critic moved to prison hospital with respiratory illness. The next headlines are from Forbes. More than 220,000 bridges need repair work in the U.S., infographic. Rocket Elon, how Tesla's eccentric boss became the number 2 richest on Forbes 2021 billionaires list. The world's richest sports team owners 2021. India's 10 richest billionaires 2021. Kim Kardashian West is officially a billionaire. What's the matter with Germany? End the lockdowns now. Operation Wealth Speed, what a record number of new, self-made billionaires says about capitalism. Dazzling duo of whodunits. Biden's $2 trillion infrastructure plan and what it will cost you. The next headlines are from Nature.com. 6 caveats to valuing ecosystem services. Time to regulate AI that interprets human emotions. Burnout urgently needs robust research. Vaccinate people in Africa's prisons against COVID-19. UK aid and research double accounting hits SDG projects. Pseudo-halide anion engineering for AFAB-BSIB 3 sub-perovskite solar cells. Keeping Gothenburg green. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,696,949,007 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Netflix acquires mainland Chinese fantasy film Superme. Structural headwinds forecast to undercut recovery of pay TV in Asia, report. Toei unveils 3 entries in Kamen Rider 50th anniversary project. Kurt Reader 2 head theatrical distribution for Warner Bros. In Asia exclusive. The Neighborhood creator Jim Reynolds exits amid leadership complaints. The Serpent, questions we have after watching the Netflix true crime series. Shiva baby star Rachel Sennott hopes her movie makes you feel anxious. Godzilla vs. Kong box office success lifts movie theater stocks. Harvey Weinstein's appeal slammed by survivors and attorneys, the jury has spoken. Rod Wave rides to #1 on album chart, Lil Nas X's Montero top songs chart. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Comic, teaching preschoolers while masked up during the pandemic. Woman gets new windpipe in groundbreaking transplant surgery. Biden envoy to Iran on what to expect in renewed nuclear talks. After a major hack, U.S. looks to fix a cyber blind spot. African immigrant health groups battle a transatlantic tide of vaccine disinformation. New Zealand, Australia to create travel bubble, resume quarantine-free travel. Baylor defeats Gonzaga to win its first men's NCAA basketball championship. Ruling by Senate parliamentarian opens up potential pathway for Democrats. Former training commander on Chauvin neck restraint, that's not what we train. Arkansas governor vetoes ban on gender-affirming care for trans youth. The following headlines are from The Week. The Best Actress Oscar race is wild. Late-night hosts catch up on the Matt Gaetz scandal, laugh at Trump trying to cancel MLB, Coke, everything else. Janet Yellen's proposal to revolutionize corporate taxation. U.S. worker productivity seems to be rising, thanks to the pandemic. Also, workers say the pandemic has sapped their productivity. Dog stops traffic to get help for her owner during medical emergency. Catastrophic weather is one factor driving Guatemalan migrants to the U.S. Baylor beats Gonzaga in lopsided NCAA men's basketball title game. North Korea says it won't send athletes to the Tokyo Olympics. Montana Governor Greg Gianforte tests positive for COVID-19. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. One researcher's quest to quantify the environmental cost of abandoned oil wells. Waves of abandonment. No teeth and no funding, how regulators fail to police the oil industry. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Is dark matter responsible for extra gamma rays coming from the center of the Milky Way? There are new stars forming near the core of the Milky Way despite the harsh environment. Roman telescope could turn up over 100,000 planets through microlensing. These are the news headlines for today, Tuesday, April 6th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Newly discovered dino named the one who causes fear. An image of a piece of the cosmic web. The next news is from Politico. Biden's first 100 days. European Union misses its first vaccination goal. The wage gap that threatens Biden's climate plan. Capitol Police in crisis, mental health fears rise following deadly attacks. Trump and his allies abandon Gates. They're obsessed with trains. Will Biden bring them nirvana? Baseball's All-Star game reportedly moving to Denver. Cuomo's Albany dominance takes backseat to political survival. Eric Bolling won't run for Congress. Republicans want to make woke corporations pay, literally. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Time for Buckley's Magpies to play the kids. How will the end of mortgage deferrals affect the housing boom? European Union projects enough doses to immunize majority by July. The hidden costs of having a baby. Bombers blow as winless GWS Giants also hit by injuries to key players. Promise of answers amid revelation doctors were all sick when Aishwarya died. I felt quite teary, New Zealanders in Melbourne excited to fly home after long wait. Where it a secure return of Wallabies forward Hannigan. It's a traumatic experience, shock and outrage after destruction of ancient Aboriginal site. 15 people charged with 45 child abuse offences in two-state crackdown. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. SoftBank snaps up $2.8 billion stake in Norway robotics firm. Europe markets, Credit Suisse losses linked to Archegos fire sale hit $4.7 billion, with executives to leave bank. Auto Trader, tastefully restyled Jaguar F-Pace offers new engine choices and improved interior. NerdWallet, 5 financial habits worth keeping after the pandemic. NerdWallet, home remodeling trends, what's in and what's out for 2021. Next Avenue, the 5 vulnerabilities that led to the colossal failure of nursing homes. Goldman Sachs waves white flag on its short US dollar recommendation. TaxWatch, most people couldn't correctly answer this pandemic-related tax quiz. Can you do better? MarketWatch first take, Oracle takes strike 3 in Google legal battle, but the game will likely continue for software developers. The biggest proposal we've seen in a long time, how Biden's $2.3 trillion infrastructure plan will invest in America's housing. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Devoted to the deaf, did Alexander Graham Bell do more harm than good? The New York Times. AB Science announces the signing of an exclusive licensing agreement with the University of Chicago to conduct research for the prevention and treatment of COVID-19, StreetInsider.com. 2 ways High Court could reshape patent design or estoppel, Law 360. COVID-19 inventions included in USPTO Awards program, BioWorld Online. Crown use, a royal defense to patent infringement, International Law Office. Intellectual property software market is booming across the globe explored in latest research, press release, digital journal. Regulatory front for April 5, 2021 to 2004-05, BioWorld Online. USPTO announces special patents for humanity COVID-19 category USPTO, United States Patent and Trademark Office. 27 thoughts on Google v. Oracle, use of Oracle's API is a fair use, Patent Leo. UA Little Rock programs help bring tech to market, Arkansas Business Online. The next headlines are from Quartz. Minimum corporate tax, SPACs go splat, ketchup shortage. The latest lockdown in India's richest state will cost the country's economy $5.4 billion. Aided late an Indian realtor with a Trump connection is all set for an IPO. Scientists have spent nearly 100 years searching for a better way to give vaccines. Financial elite meet, EU carbon prices, mummy parade. Naspers' strategic focus on South African tech startups is starting to pay off. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Judge says Dia Tsa can continue to be sued for stealing cash from airline passengers. Microsoft Xbox pushing backwards compatibility hard, with specific nods towards game preservation. Devin Nunes loses yet another one of his slap suits. It's apparently bipartisan to threaten to punish companies via antitrust law for speech you don't like. Appeals court extends qualified immunity to cops who knew they were violating a photographer's rights. Justice Thomas goes weird again, suggests Twitter cannot moderate and Section 230 violates First Amendment. Daily Deal, the 2021 complete Learn to Code by Making Games in Unity bundle. Supreme Court sides with Google in decade-long fight over API copyright. Google's copying of Java API is fair use. U.S. press continues to pretend the digital divide just mysteriously appeared one day. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Base nectar. Khloe Kardashian. Gonzaga University. COVID-19 prevention. Ernest Hemingway. Paul Pierce. Tori Kelly. James Harden. Mets. Georgia voting law. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Watch, overjoyed Baylor fans storm field in Texas after NCAA title win, but predictable COVID sniping is quick to follow. U.S. is losing the energy tech war against China. Rioters hurl petrol bombs at police trucks, set roadblock amid post-Brexit unrest in Northern Ireland. Video. Credit Suisse ousts top execs, slashes bonuses amid heavy losses from U.S. hedge fund meltdown. Just when they need calm heads, Chelsea season threatens to be derailed by familiar failings at both ends and away from the pitch. Moscow holds emergency talks with U.S. over fighting in Donbass as Ukraine says NATO exercises will train troops for war with Russia. I cannot lose. NBA icon Paul Pierce laughs as he leaves ESPN after outrage over viral twerking video. Filipino man who broke COVID rules dies after reportedly being forced to do 300 squat-like exercises. Twitter cries foul after McConnell calls big business woke parallel government for leaning on Georgia over election law. UK government advisor claims there may be arguments for faster relaxations of COVID-19 restrictions, but warns of summer third wave. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Seastonomics, Spain's ruling socialists launch nationwide test of 4-day work week. One bank spoils the party, reminds traders we are this close to the breaking point. Global net zero climate change targets are pie in the sky. Putin signs law allowing possibility he could rule until 2036. Majority of Americans reject Democrats' election integrity outrage, support voter IDs. Leaked docs show UK government has planned for vaccine passports all along. Erdogan warns of new coup as he arrests 10 admirals. Is war between Russia and Ukraine now inevitable? Escobar, how Eurasia will be interconnected. Chicago shootings in March top 4-year highest. Mayor Lightfoot's plan to combat crime fails. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Indian states vote in assembly polls amid surge in COVID cases. Israeli troops kill Palestinian driver, wound his wife. Russia ups security at Navalny prison ahead of planned protest. Aiding Palestine refugees is not political. In pictures, hunt for survivors after deadly Indonesian cyclone. India steps up anti-Maoist operations after 22 policemen killed. Credit Suisse estimates Archegos loss at $4.7 billion, shakes up board. Iran indicts 10 officials over downed Ukraine airliner. Manhunt on for 1,800 inmates after brazen Nigeria prison attack. Jordan bans publishing information on Royal Rift. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Kemp, CO has fewer early voting days than us, we're being targeted because Biden, Abrams lying to people. 261 transgender prisoners request transfer under California law, 255 to women's prison. MLB moves All-Star Game to Colorado, which has voter ID and fewer early voting days than GA. Report, Joe Biden's DHS considers resuming border wall construction. Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson vetoes bill banning transgender drugs, surgeries for minors. Data, multinational corporations kept outsourcing American jobs in pandemic. Senate parliamentarian approves reconciliation to ram through additional legislation without filibuster obstruction. Sanders, companies saying it's outrage that GA is trying to destroy democracy, GOP criticisms of them a deflection. Poll, 72% of Americans call illegal immigration direct threat to U.S. Biden sanctuary country orders cut deportations by 50%. The next headlines are from UPI News. 6,523 tickets win lottery drawing when numbers come up 1, 1, 1. Watch, Kentucky man's lost classroom returned after nearly 40 years. Watch, naval mine washes up on popular Florida beach. Watch, loose cow brings traffic to a halt on Georgia highway. Watch, pooches brave the waves at dog surfing championships in Florida. Sealed copy of Super Mario Bros. Sells for record price of $660,000. Watch, 7-year-old gymnast breaks world record for forward walkovers. Watch, escaped antelope gallops along Israel highway. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Like a beautifully tuned instrument, 2,000 microphones unlock the mystery of why hummingbirds hum. Sir David Attenborough backs new tech that can recycle all plastics. Woman uses old tires and turns them into playgrounds. India fishermen divert their catch of ocean plastic so it can be used to rebuild roads. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Tuesday, April 6th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Immigrant from France fails Quebec's French test for newcomers. Naked models arrested in Dubai face jail. $500,000 Jefferson Davis chair stolen in Selma will be a toilet unless Confederate group hangs banner, email claims. Senator Kennedy slams MLB commissioner, says he made baseball a blue sport. Watch Live, officials offer new information on Florida toxic wastewater reservoir facing collapse. We found a baby on the subway, now he's our son. CBS faces lawsuit over whether MacGyver is a spin-off or remake. Mark Zuckerberg's phone number leaked in the Facebook data leak. A factory worker jumped into a molten steel furnace after losing more than $9,000 on the stock market. Suspect handcuffed behind his back steals patrol car, leads cops on 100 miles per hour chase. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. These AI-made songs channel the spirit of Cobain and Hendrix. Uber looks to prevent drivers from seeing destinations, it's a dick move. What actually happened with Facebook's massive 533M record leak? Want to scale fast? Make developer productivity your top priority. Android Auto is about to get heaps more navigation and F-charging apps. Of course Yahoo Answers is shutting down, just look at its vile trending section. What would an autonomous Apple car mean for Tesla? Poll, employees would rather make less money than go back to an office. JBL HDI 1600 review, this neutral hi-fi speaker is meant to play loud. Can AI read your emotions? Try it for yourself. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Elasticity to position microplates on curved 2D fluids. New batteries give jolt to renewables, energy storage. New method expands the world of small RNAs. Unique mini microscope provides insight into complex brain functions. Atom-based radio communications for noisy environments. Less than a nanometer thick, stronger and more versatile than steel. An artful study of cellular development in leaves. This hydrogen fuel machine could be the ultimate guide to self-improvement. Masks, ventilation stop COVID spread better than social distancing, study shows. Ozone pollution harms maize crops, study finds. The next headlines are from Information Week. FTD CTO Powell on transforming and the next new normal. AI at your service. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Tuesday, April 6th from over 100 sources to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. Rise students to hear from NASA astronauts on space station. Watch next space station crew launch live on NASA TV, NASA app. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Baylor routs Gonzaga for national championship. Prisoner advocates warned against allowing rival gangs to mingle. Now an inmate who was injured is suing. Utah Jazz stressed the importance of not overreacting to one loss after a game when not much goes right. The triple team, Jazz get unlucky, Mavs get lucky from deep to snap Jazz's winning streak. Utah pharmacist gets probation for illegally importing drug that officials wanted to use for COVID-19. Ogden police identify woman allegedly shot and killed by ex-boyfriend. Where the 20 new Latter-day Saint temples, including a 26th in Utah, will be built. Terry Sellers, limits on troubled youth programs can leave some without needed treatment. Utah reports fewer than 200 new COVID-19 cases and one more death. New Utah men's basketball coach Craig Smith plans to keep scheduling up, add more in-state games. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. NASA's Mars helicopter survives first cold Martian night on its own. Colorado denied its citizens the right to repair after riveting testimony. The NFT bubble might be bursting already. Scientists show you can collect DNA from the air. Irish regulator probes old Facebook data dump. Android 12 adds a new device search API for third-party launchers. LexisNexis to provide giant database of personal information to ICE. Intel MacBook Pro owner adds water cooling to silence noisy fans, boost performance. Microsoft Edge user numbers keep growing as Firefox falls. What we're expecting from Google's custom Whitechapel SoC in the Pixel 6. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Some officers fear it's too late to gain back control of the St. Louis Justice Center. Deadly day, 4 killed in 4 separate incidents in St. Louis. St. Louis City partners with state, FEMA to vaccinate 168,000 over 8 weeks. Missouri Department of Conservation asks for help in first-time tick study. Police chief, kneeling on George Floyd's neck violated policy. Jefferson County looking to fill hundreds of open COVID vaccine spots. Car crashes after shooting kills 2 people in North St. Louis. Homicide investigation underway after person found under piece of metal. Woman hit by bullet while driving on I-70. Jefferson County man charged with killing woman, injuring man. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Vista Unified Secondary students resume daily, in-person classes. Baylor beatdown, Bears win title, hang 86-70 loss on Gonzaga. Padres star Fernando Tatis Jr. dislocates shoulder on swing. Denver to host 2021 MLB All-Star Game at Coors Field. 127 new COVID-19 cases reported as county awaits latest state guidance. Agents arrest 4 men in torn wetsuits suspected of swimming around border wall. Longtime prosecutor appointed as first black assistant in county history. Supervisors to consider proposal to waive event permit fees. UCSD to resume in-person classes at normal occupancy this fall. Yemenis on terrorism watch list caught crossing U.S. border illegally, CBP says. The next headlines are from spooknews.com. Iran says it has arrested Israeli spy, others, state media. Iran claims to have captured an Israeli spy. How the United States spied on the Soviet Union during the Cold War. Iran says it captured Israeli spy in eastern Azerbaijan province. Iran arrests Israeli spy, other spies in contact with several countries in East Azerbaijan province. Guard were led to stolen lawnmower by its GPS tracker. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. Tochka-U ballistic missile system crashes into home in Belarus. Ukrainian future infantry fighting vehicle program unveiled. The next headlines are from SUP China, top news about China. Hanford's China Alley, a historic Chinatown in rural America. The Philippines is fed up with China's maritime militia. Homegrown movie Sister dominates box office by shining rare light on male preference in Chinese families. China is the world's next video game streaming hub. Lin Huayan fought to preserve old Beijing, and much more. Zhang Haiqia becomes first Chinese player inducted into FIBA Hall of Fame. Qingchuan, a traditional Chinese holiday food, gets a modern makeover. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Tuesday, April 6, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. 2 more horses die at Golden Gate Fields. Racist letter sent to Asian-owned business in American League Division Seriesburg. Some Bay Area counties see rise in COVID cases. Hikers scramble as new fissure opens up at Icelandic volcano. Norwegian to require vaccinations before cruises, pitches CDC on July 4 start date. MLB to relocate All-Star Game to Denver's Coors Field, AP source. Changes coming to CA's reopening guidelines. Double mutant, new COVID-19 variant discovered in Bay Area. Illinois bar event caused 46 COVID-19 cases, school closure. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. New recording indicates Jordanians tried to silence Prince. Lake County board member condemned over denaming transgender candidate. Contreras, Bez, both HRs lift Cubs over Brewers 5-3. Banksite could become a new Judson dorm. Vacant 25-acre Palatine site to be redeveloped into 2 business buildings. DuPage clerk asks what to do with votes cast for ineligible Glendale Heights candidates. Constable, freedom just another word for keeping on a mask. Booker scores 36. The Suns beat Rockets for 6th straight win. Elgin Police to hold event honoring Autism Acceptance Month. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. A new app wants to sell lotto tickets in Washington. The lottery warns against it. King County opens new film studio on Harbor Island to bring industry back to Seattle. Fact or fiction, exploring Seattle's urban lore and legends. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Drought is ongoing in Malawi, Mozambique. Drought is ongoing in Bolivia, Brazil. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Mexico. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Congo, DRC, Namibia. Drought is ongoing in Iraq, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Afghanistan, China, Iran, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Green alert for tropical cyclone 2021. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour. Wind speeds or higher is 0. Green alert for tropical cyclone Sarah to 21. Population affected by category 1, 120 kilometers per hour. Wind speeds or higher is 0. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 6M, depth 10 km, in New Zealand May 4, 2021, 7:37 UTC, few people within 100 kilometers. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Tuesday, April 6th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. 6-year-old suffered days worth of vomiting and hallucinated before death, report states. Houston woman gets second COVID-19 vaccine dose after tweeting Mayor Turner. Here's when we could get some rain this week. One shining moment returns to celebrate Baylor's national championship. Krispy Kreme creates 2 new Oreo donuts. Derek Chauvin trial live coverage, kneeling on George Floyd's neck violated policy, police chief says. Baylor first national title denies Zags perfection. Mom in custody after 2-month-old daughter was found dead in duffel bag full of ice, police say. Driving lesson crash turns into aggravated robbery in Northeast Houston. American Idol recap, Monday's performances and how to vote. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Bathing tour kicks off Tuesday evening amid water supply cut. New audio undermines Jordan's claims of foreign plot. Reports, Tokyo Olympics to call off water polo test event. Australian photographer horses around with old lunch bags amid quarantine. Trout homers, Angels rally in 8th to hand Astros' first loss. In Israel, twin dramas point to difficult path for Netanyahu. U.S., Iran expected to begin indirect nuclear talks in Vienna. The latest, South Korea not ruling out curbing vaccine exports. People expected to get water from Wednesday noon, Taiwan Water Corporation. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Extra, COVID scolds take aim at vaccinated people. Coney Island amusement park reopening this Friday after long pandemic shutdown. State lawmakers near deal on long-awaited rent relief program. Coronavirus statistics, tracking the epidemic in New York. Mayoral candidate Scott Stringer proposes entertainment vouchers for vaccinated New Yorkers. Andrew Yang wants to turn NYC into a Bitcoin mega hub. That would be terrible for climate change. Photos, all the amazing creations at this year's unofficial Easter parade. Early edition, anonymous NYC medical workers have earned their pandemic subway makeout sessions. Closed by coronavirus for over a year, one Harlem church hosts a trial run on Easter Sunday. He spent 24 years behind bars because Queens prosecutors broke the rules. Was this their only wrongful conviction? We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Disability discrimination at the World Bank, is it immunity or impunity? IMF, World Bank must support developing countries' recovery. Mexico looks to the heavens for a solution to its water crisis. COVID-19 lays bare social inequality, says UN chief, as COVAX doses top 36 million. Women abducted in South Sudan released, hundreds remain missing. Timor-Leste, UN agencies support response in wake of deadly floods. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. UK government has planned for vaccine passports all along. Florida emergency as phosphate plant pond leak threatens radioactive flood. U.S. national debt passes $28 trillion, plus $4.7 trillion in 13 months. General Treasury account down by $480 billion in 2 months, $620 billion to go. Facebook leak exposes personal info on 533M users. The cheapest COVID-19 therapy in the world, that Big Pharma doesn't want. Tanky, conspiracy theorist, and other pejorative tools of narrative control. Facebook is making an augmented reality wristband that lets you control computers with your brain. China's secret human-animal hybrid experiments. Crypto yuan, China creates its own digital currency. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Is this a photograph of Jill Biden in fishnet stockings? MLB moving All-Star game to Denver's Coors Field. Is it a bad idea to laminate your COVID-19 vaccine card? Harvey Weinstein appeals conviction, blames cavalier judge. Prayer vigil held outside NY hospital for rapper DMX. Did agents confiscate 3,000 U.S. stimulus checks at the border? Arkansas governor vetoes transgender youth treatment ban. Is Oakland offering guaranteed income only to people of color? Did a gymnast celebrate by showing off vaccination card? Is this the real obituary of Margaret Groening, mother of Simpsons creator Matt Groening? The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Biden, but the judge exaggerate projected job gains in infrastructure plan. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Comedian Joe Coy reveals how ultimate evil banded Asians together. Ron DeSantis couldn't be more dangerously wrong about vaccine passports. The problem isn't a witch hunt, Matt Gaetz, it's you. Nassim Pedred's journey from SNL's Kim Kardashian back to high school in Chad. Why Republicans cannot seem to lay a glove on Biden. Why this coronavirus surge is different from all the rest. On Mykonos, Greece's famed party island, everyone is about to explode. They aren't doing shit, this Capitol cop is mad as hell, and calling it quits. Matt Gaetz said his travel records would exonerate him, they don't. The emo scene queen who inspired all-time lows TikTok sensation Dear Maria, count me in tells all. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Man kills 3 women in murder-suicide at Brooklyn apartment. Woman killed, man wounded in Bronx drive-by shooting. Woman charged after child shows up to school with 260 grams of cocaine. Jacob deGrom didn't second-guess his early Mets exit. Yankees sign Mets cast-off Mike Montgomery. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Blue Moon, will Jeff Bezos' lunar lander return astronauts to the moon? Inside Ingenuity, the thrill of engineering Mars' first helicopter. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. NASA's Ingenuity mini helicopter survives first night alone on Mars. NASA reveals more hidden Easter eggs aboard Mars rover. Robots in California test wastewater to predict COVID outbreaks. Analyzing the pandemic's toll on mothers and their mental health. U.S. coronavirus infections jump for 4th straight week as variants spread. The path out of the pandemic runs through the evangelical church. Toxic wastewater reservoir in Florida on brink of collapse. Ticking time bomb, residents on edge with reservoir near collapse. Michigan emerges as new epicenter as COVID cases soar. Why the key to ending the pandemic runs through the evangelical church. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. New autopsy report points to murder in 2004. Death of Alonzo Brooks in Kansas may have been racially motivated, FBI. Woman gets year in jail for dragging puppy to death. Fired Walmart employee drives car through store, police say. Aaron Rodgers sacked from The Blind Side while hosting Jeopardy! Sorry the server gets screwed on this, says brewery customer after stiffing a waitress for enforcing pandemic rules. 40,000 children in U.S. have lost at least one parent to COVID, report. Mom, daughter die after car drives off California cliff. Miami police searching for California mom missing since March 28. These details don't make sense. Trump spotted with apparent Coke bottle on desk despite calling for boycott of the drink. State Senator Brad Hoylman wants to organize tenants once eviction moratorium ends. The following headlines are from military.com. Navy fires Rear Admiral in charge of aviation depots. Military deaths by suicide jumped 25% at end of 2020. The buck stops here, hold high-ranking officers responsible for training accidents. Navy deletes phrases like faddish and compliment the skin tone from grooming brags. China sends aircraft carrier strike group near Okinawa in message to US and Japan. On Iran nuclear deal, Biden faces more distrust in Tehran and sharpened knives in Washington. Navy officer under scrutiny for letter disparaging enlisted sailors as deviants and perverts. Navy Seabees build VP Kamala Harris a desk out of wood from USS Constitution. Philippine presidential aide warns of unwanted hostilities in South China Sea. Military sea mine washes up on Florida beach. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. More meteor tsunamis occur on Lake Michigan than any other Great Lake. New research may lead to life-saving warnings about the potentially destructive waves. Pilot dies after ultralight aircraft crash in Huntley. Community members remember Adam Toledo. Leaders demand an end to criminalization of black and brown youth. Armed robbers tried holding up 3 people on Easter. They shot 2 of them, including a security guard who returned fire, and never managed to steal anything. The Spin. Lightfoot calls for new Chicago police foot chase policy after teen killed Pritzker signs bill opposed by Lightfoot boosting firefighter pensions per Quinkle to great Vice President Kamala Harris at airport tomorrow. Cook County releasing about 30K first dose appointments Monday across 5 suburban sites. Coronavirus in Illinois updates, mass vaccination sites at Wrigley Field and Chicago State open. COVID-19 vaccine now available to residents 16 and older in 84 counties. 2,102 new cases, 11 more deaths reported. Former Obama cabinet member Rayla Hood resigns Lincoln Museum post after running afoul of Fed over undisclosed $50,000 loan. Procession for fallen hometown officer comes as charges lodged in his death. Tuesday's suburban elections feature controversial figures, strange party names and Flossmoor's first woman as mayor. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Discovery is key to creating heat-tolerant crops. Separating beer waste into proteins for foods, and fiber for biofuels. Taiwan imposes water rationing as drought worsens. Climate change driving marine species poleward. Rise of the roboplans, as scientists fuse nature with tech. NASA's Ingenuity helicopter survives first night alone on Mars. COVID-19 pandemic threatens to reverse gains made on Sustainable Development Goal 1 and 2. For some black students, discrimination outweighed integration's benefits. New deadly snake from Asia named after character from Chinese myth Legend of White Snake. What can we learn from vanishing wildlife species? The case of the Pyrenean ibex. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Tuesday, April 6th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. Is coffee good for you or not? How thousands of volunteers are hunting a treatment for Alzheimer's. What magic can teach us about the human mind? The rise of the tetrapods, how our early ancestors left water to walk on land. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. As states expand vaccines, prisoners still lack access. Millennial money, reboot your budget to prep for reopening. Lewis running to lead the ski federation that fired her. Greenland election shows divide over rare earth metals mine. Credit Suisse foresees $4.7 billion charge over hedge fund default. The following headlines are from mercurynews.com. Bridge, April 6, 2021. Horoscopes April 6, 2021. Paul Rudd, set your sights on what excites you. Word Game, April 6, 2021. Ask Amy, I wish I had thought this out before I got a DNA test. Harriet Cole, when I saw my hands the morning after, I knew what I had done. Miss Manners, my wife won't admit her phone call was rude. Dear Abby, the wrong word slipped out, and now he refuses to talk to me. Mike Yastrzemski comes off the bench, lifts Giants to win over Padres with pinch hit homer. NCAA Men's Championship, Baylor wins title, ends Gonzaga's perfect season. Oakland A's lose to Dodgers, break more records in historically bad start. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Israeli President Reuven Rivlin picks Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to try to form a new government. Tennessee community organizer to primary Dem Rep Jim Cooper. Mammoth Cave seeks comments on proposed trail upgrade. Group says death toll now 50 from clashes in Sudan's Darfur. WVU to hold in-person commencement ceremonies in May. Kentucky students have until May 1st to request a redo year. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Cops crowdfunded their K-9's hospital bills, then quietly admitted they had shot him. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Tuesday, April 6, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Cannabis legalization and link to increase in fatal collisions. Simple fetal heartbeat monitoring still best to reduce unnecessary cesarean sections. How many mothers have lost a child? A global comparison. Are you using antihistamines properly? COVID-19, tsunami of chronic health conditions expected, research and healthcare disrupted. Tattoo made of gold nanoparticles revolutionizes medical diagnostics. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. One in custody after man fatally shot in Austin apartment. Menu planner, chicken stir-fry with yellow rice hits the spot. CTA driver crashes into construction site on the near west side. 15 shot, 2 fatally, Monday in Chicago. Man fatally shot in Roseland, police. Carlos Rodon pitches 5 scoreless innings, Yorman Mercedes gets 3 more hits as White Sox blank Mariners. Horoscope for Tuesday, April 6, 2021. 1 killed, 1 wounded in Southside shooting, police. 6 shot after fight in Englewood, police. College basketball is dreamy and seamy. The feed from the Riverfront Times St. Louis has been removed for putting advertisements in its news RSS feed. St. Louis jail director blames City Justice Center inmates for havoc. 2 St. Louis police officers face second trial in Luther Hall case. The Buttery Diner reopens after Christmas night fire. Dining Out for Life goes big this year to support St. Louis restaurants. 10 best phone number lookup by name. The next headlines are from Detroit Metro. Cannabis delivery service ease expands to Michigan, partners with former Detroit Lion Calvin Johnson. 8 more vaccination sites coming to Detroit as COVID-19 cases reach alarming levels. Popular Van Gogh exhibit brings artists' work to life, and it's headed to Detroit. Hey, Macomb and Oakland counties, stop flushing your personal poop wipes. Rise in COVID-19 cases prompts new restrictions at Wayne State University. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Tuesday, April 6, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Jim Weeder carries the weight in the legacy of the band. From Gershwin to gospel, soprano Nicole Houston in concert for HGO. Which NFL teams are most disappointed in the Deshaun Watson legal news? Houston Democrats and civic leaders lash out against Texas GOP-backed voting restrictions. Deshaun Watson received first criminal complaint in massage lawsuit saga. Jazz organist Robert Walter summons a long-lost spirit. This week in Houston food events, Black Restaurant Weeks and a new restaurant preview. 10 essential games to buy before the PS3 store shuts down. The next headlines are about world records making news. 7-year-old Indian gymnast breaks world record for most forward walkovers in 1 minute. Watch, times now. UNIST, EPFL claim 25.6% efficiency world record for perovskite solar cell, PV Magazine International. Luxury car brand breaks drone show world record, AV Magazine. Genesis 1-ups Kiospira drones for China launch, sets another world record, Auto Evolution. Show Masato well positioned for run at 200 breaststroke world record, Swimming World Magazine. Benteen powerlifter sets world record, KTVZ. Low Country School sets world record with cereal boxes, WTOC. Ruth Chepnjevich just broke the half marathon world record by a full 29 seconds, Pop Sugar. Knoxville man breaks world record for Funko Pop collection, WVLT-TV. Graphic warning, watch this world record car jump attempt end in carnage, hot cars. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Japan's central bank launches 1-year test of digital currency. Clubhouse is partnering with Stripe to offer direct payments, and creators will get 100% of the profits. Is Yahoo Answers dying? Yes, son, yes it is. Amazon cannot just change its rules to squash activism, NLRB finding suggests. This soap bottle is made of soap and also dispenses soap. Amazon fixed the Echo Show 10's biggest feature failure. Navy ship sunk in historic World War II battle is now the deepest explored wreck. The 10 best deals of April 5, 2021. Marvel secrets in the new Loki trailer, The Avengers, Timekeepers, and more. HBO's Q, Into the Storm lays out its case that 8chan admin Ron Woodkins is Q. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Nampula in Mozambique at 122.9 degrees Fahrenheit or 50.5 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was University Wi-ID in Dome Fuji at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Celebrate First Contact Day with this Star Trek, Discovery S4 trailer. Coronavirus variant that spreads easily doesn't do so by surviving in air better. Clarence Thomas blasts Section 230, wants common carrier rules on Twitter. 30-year-old Soviet TV adaptation of The Lord of the Rings surfaces on YouTube. Our favorite trickster god teams up with Time Cops in official Loki trailer. Amazon illegally fired 2 employees who pushed for climate, labor action. 2021 Microsoft Build conference dates confirmed, May 25th to 27th. After a decade of failure, LG officially quits the smartphone market. Supreme Court rules API copying is fair use. This 830 horsepower, crab-walking SUV will be the second Hummer EV. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Half of Republicans think January 6th siege was peaceful or staged by Antifa, new poll finds. Joe Biden's master plan is remarkably simple. Fox News goes with screw all corporations message after criticism of GOP voter suppression bills. Trump is facing brand new lawsuits that could bankrupt the family business. Here's why. How high uninsured rates could be contributing to America's pregnancy-related death crisis. Dem governor wins big as all-star game move to a blue state, report. Feds in advanced plea negotiations with Oathkeeper, if he cooperates with prosecutors. Russian state TV is scared of Biden, and even speculating they might need to go to war, report. Bloody civil war, inside the heavily armed contingency force hovering over the Oathkeeper's January 6 prosecution. One company took down thousands of internet communities for violent extremism in 2020, report. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. False barriers, these things should not prevent you from getting a COVID vaccine. Fossil fuel firms reaped billions in COVID tax breaks, then laid off thousands of workers. Despite pledge to reduce emissions, China is binging on coal. Taxpayer dollars, the origins of austerity's racist catchphrase. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Skulltech team used mass spectrometry to study composition of meteorites, space ref. SETI Institute in the news, Media Roundup, February 16 – February 28, 2021, SETI Institute. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. How to be a mindful runner and practice more mindful running, real simple. New method can unveil molecular basis of memory and learning, Lab Manager magazine. Neuromorphic computing market competitive research and precise outlook 2021 to 2027 leading players, IBM, Samsung Electronics, Intel Corporation, HRL Laboratories, The Courier. Why Israel is becoming a hub for Parkinson's research, Jewish News of Greater Phoenix. Care for children by caring for parents, says Neuroscience, The Good Men Project. Inside Ibogaine, a promising and perilous drug for addiction. Time. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Tuesday, April 6, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. UFOs sighted near Minuteman missile silos, Gulf launch facility, 1965. Better for national security if these UAPs turn out to be ETs. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Tuesday, April 6, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. True Strange News is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno@xenomails 2021 by True Strange News. All rights reserved.